Hello and welcome to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet where we get together and we talk about the things that help us escape, relax, and unwind. Today is party time. It is Fun Time Friday. You may not know this, but I know this. But now I'm on Restream, and I've got the cool little name in the corner. Looking at that, look at my name tag, haha, which means we are now able to have links. We can bring on guests. We can get rid of the stupid Restream logo. As awesome as it is to shout out the companies that are helping us bring the show to you. It can be a little annoying when you've got a look you're going for, when you've got a color combo you're looking for. The background even. I've got my own little background there. So hello background. Goodbye background. Get out of here. So maybe we'll see more from Background Chan later in the episode. So awesome time. So if you've got a friend or a creator or yourself and you want to chat about some anime sometime, you want to chat about some escapism, you've got a project you're working on, anything like that, I want to start opening up these Fun Time Fridays to be sort of a fun chat time, not fully unrestricted, of course. We got to have some semblance of normalcy around here. So with that normalcy, we will jump into our sake of the night. We're running Miya no Yuki, which I've not heard before, but it is a Junmai Ginjo and it has a very simple logo, very simple bottle all over. I like this thing is freaking beautiful for like how tiny it is. I am always impressed with labeling companies and how they put stuff together. So this one made in Mie, Japan. I'm not super familiar with Mie, so that's something a little different. Got a lot of the same sort of tinted color, a little bit of like off clear, like if off white is something that's like not quite white, this is off clear. It's just not quite clear. Got that interesting tinge to it, like rust water. You go to like an old building and you start turning on the water, and all the iron deposits that are in the old pipes are coming through, and you're seeing it come out in that initial bit of water. You're like, ugh. But it's okay. It's safe. You're fine. You'll be all good. I imagine that means I'm gonna have a healthy dose of dirt in this first sampling. So let's get into it. Ooh, that's candy. That is quite sweet, actually. That is not something I expected. I was expecting mud. I was expecting dirt. I was expecting some hairs that had fallen off of someone and into the barrel. But that is a very sweet candy flavor. Bring back the Restream logo. Oh yeah, there I go. Hello. Goodbye. Oh my goodness. That's what they get. They get a little peekaboo. Hello. All right. Today we'll be quick with the reviews today. Skeleton Knight. Keep watching Skeleton Knight. It keeps being a fun one. We're getting more ties to this universe in other isekais and previous isekais and everything. It's fun. I'm still enjoying it. So if you haven't started Skeleton Knight in Another World, go ahead and start it. 8 episodes in. Even if it doesn't come to like an ending, I can say that it's been a fun ride for more than 75% of the hold on, math. 66% of the ride is fun. If I don't have the Restream logo, how can we know that you support Current Thing? Oh, I support Current Thing insofar as it should be supported properly and in the right way, and we need to make sure that when we support Current Thing that we're really coming at it from a position of actual assistance to the people that need help, and not just throwing our support all willy-nilly and end up bolstering the people who don't support current thing. I could be a politician. I bet I could pull it together. You've watched so much anime since getting sick. Good. More anime. Oh, my lips are a little chippy chapped. More sake will help that. Is Skeleton Knight actually good? Its first episode seemed kind of funny, but nothing special. Yeah, that's if that was your sense from the first episode, I'm gonna guess that that's your sense for the whole rest of the series. It's fun, funny. It has interesting little tie-ins. The skeleton character wanting to kind of maintain his aloof and sort of how would you put this? He wants to pretend that the skeleton knight that he is like this important knight, so he kind of role plays with his voice and stuff, and the voice actor has a lot of fun with it. And I was hoping it would stick a little more in the beginning to those first episodes where but he's already kind of getting roped into bigger plots, bigger stories, and you know that's sort of how it goes. You gotta move on to bigger, better, get people excited about more interesting thing. But yes, it probably if you're looking for something that is going to be silly, it has the more you go into it, it has a lot more fun like Japanese references. The elves are really interesting. I still have yet to kind of piece out if it's really another world or if he's in some kind of like VR dream. Like I don't really know kind of what's going on there, because sometimes they'll say a location name and I'll think, well, that's just something he made up. But it could be that it's from the game that he died and is now in. So judgment notwithstanding, it having some sort of weird ass pull at the end, it is a good time. It is a very good time. And it I mean the dub's pretty funny too. I would say there's a few key actors that are pulling off in the dub, but overall I think the Japanese is a little more fun. Typically with like comedy and stuff, I want to hear it in English because you can pick up on subtleties, on sarcasm, on a little bit more. However, a lot of the subtitling that they've gone with works really well to maintain that. And then also the Japanese voice actor for Ark, the main guy, has just a blast. Like the last time I heard someone having this much fun behind the mic would have been from the manager from what the heck is the zombie idol one? What's the one where the zombies are idols? And they're trying to save Fukuoka, not Fukuoka. I'm just gonna type in zombie idol. Zombie. Nope, that didn't help. Zombieland Saga. Thank you. Zombieland Saga. That is the what however long it took for you to type that and for me to say Zombieland Saga. That's what our current delay is, if anyone is curious. Yes, the manager in Zombieland Saga is one of the most fun vocal performances in the Japanese that you'll ever hear. The dub tries to keep up, but you still got to give it to that guy. Just having a blast behind the mic. Comedy this season has been fantastic, so it didn't seem like it's at the top compared to Spy, Cross Family, Kong Ming, Love is War, and Love After World Domination. I think the big kicker this season is everything is having fun. So Tomodachi Game exists. However, everything else that is out right now, Otome Game, Love After World Domination, Skeleton Knight, Greatest Demon Lord Reborn, ya boy, Daemon, RPG Real Estate, everything is having fun. It has comedic elements. Healer Girl, couple of Kakus, even Heart of Kunoichi Tsubaki, comedic. Like it's like when RPG elements started getting into every other video game genre. It was like, oh, this is a first-person shooter RPG. This is a third-party or a third-person platforming RPG. They just had RPG shoehorned at everything. It's like for the spring here, they were like, you know what? What if we laugh? What if we have fun? What if we just enjoy ourselves again while we're making shows? That's sort of the sense I get. That's why the comedy this season's been so good, because everybody's been that like, oh, we can be funny. It's okay if we're funny. Now, I of course love them to be a little funnier. But that's what Ikitosen's for. So we'll see how funny that one gets. Yo, you are here. Which I guess is a podcast that doesn't exist anymore. Oops. But you Call Me John are here now, currently. Now I validated it. I saw it in the comments. I can see that you are indeed here. So congratulations on being here. All right, let's see how this works. It says my current resolution is 1280 by 736. What kind of weird ass number is that? Oh man. Oh. Let's see. All right. So, does everybody remember the show of hands? Who remembers the time that broke the internet? Quote unquote, hashtag break the internet, blah de blah. Does everybody have in mind the time that broke the internet? Yes. When you eat a mattress and look like a mattress. I ate the mattress and now I'm a mattress. What are you, Kirby? New Kirby's just look like a mattress. Okay, so I have censored this. But I figured I would remind everyone about the time, I'm not going to share audio, that the internet broke. Oh, can I be on this side? Nope, that's not what I want. You remember a few times. Okay. This was the time that the internet broke, when Kim Kardashian bared her giant ass on the Paper magazine in the winter of 2014 and said, hashtag break the internet. And all of the popular media was, oh my goodness, this is breaking the internet. A woman's bum has been posted online, and now everyone can see her crack. I need to usually hire a plumber in order to get that kind of service, but here she is with a trash bag and plenty of oil, like the kind of garbage and refuse you take out at the end of the night at a Culver's. There's not even a Culver's near me. I don't know why I said that one. Anyway. 919,199 likes. This is the most likes. This is today's likes. I made this snip today. You can see it says 393 weeks ago that this happened. You don't remember this, but that is very stupid. Congratulations on not remembering 2014 winter. Anyway, not even 1 million likes on this photo. And it was like touted. Like if you Google break the internet, what you're going to get is hundreds from this photo spread of her trying to pop champagne and have it Photoshop around her head into the glass that she's balancing on her butt. This was what broke the internet. Now, if anyone is into a little show, maybe you've heard of it. Why am I so tiny? Can I be bigger? No. I feel like I'm even smaller. Those wires. Why am I over here? Can I not be on the other side of the dang screen? Is there a shortcut? Can I move crap around? Hold on. This is all new. Thumbnail cinema mute add. Nah, no. All right. So it'll only let me move stuff in so far as you can stick it in a different window. Oh well. You're not on Twitter, so you don't know this. Okay. This wasn't Twitter. This was Instagram, and this was in a plenty of news things. This was one of those like every of the late night comedians and everything were touting, oh, she broke the internet, isn't that amazing, that's crazy, blah 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 blah. So to date this has less than views. However, if you're interested in a little show called Hunter x Hunter, you may know that the posted this on a brand new, look at this freaking name, UN4V5S8BGS VK9XP. I tried to type that in directly to go to his page and ended up at a different person's Twitter page. This person posts his corner. This is a person who makes a very famous manga called Hunter x Hunter. Types what do we got? Torioe what? Zuto. I don't know this kanji though. Anyway, this is a 6, and this is a manga drawing sheet, so like it's got scales on it, so you can make sure you're drawing your stuff to the proper size that you like, or your ruler references everything. First post, brand new. He made this Twitter to post this picture. It has 1.4 million likes. 516 people said, you know what? Just in case the other people that follow me didn't see this yet, I'm going to retweet it. I'm going to make sure that other people see it. 20,000 people commented on it. Not that interesting. People love it. This is why escapism and anime and like things that people make after working hard at making things is so important and so I don't know, just relevant, right? Because this is more than just, oh yeah, a lot of people like this product and they're gonna pay for it, they're gonna buy it, they're gonna get into it. But like somebody putting all of their time and passion into a thing is also coming across with lots of people who are also like stoked and excited and want to get into it. You can't call me a boomer. I'm only 31. I can't be a boomer yet. Maybe the thing just doesn't work. But you can save all that boomer talk. I've got our guest for the night. Well, first guest for the night. Who knows how the night will go. Please welcome the anime guy, Brandon. How are you doing, sir?
You know, I'm doing all right. I've just been just took the day off. I figured I would be up way later to watch a show that Disney Minus put out, but they decided to push it up 3 hours. So I go and do my thing with my bud Snowdub. We decide to watch the thing and to live commentate while we're watching it, and oh boy.
Oh man. Anyway, so the chat is updated. I saw you were you've been frustrated at a few things today, and I was like, you know what? Part of escapism is getting away from the crap that ruins our life, and sometimes venting, also helps with that. So let's air it out. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can make your day better. And yes, Serranos, boomer is a state of mind. Oh, that's right. I can show these.
Oh yes, it is. It is a state of mind for sure. But yeah, one of my first loves was Star Wars, and seeing it be treated the way that it has been by Disney since they bought it, and by people who shall not be named but are well known. It's very disheartening, and it doesn't help when you get people that just like to stir the pot just because, or are just chills for Disney because they have nothing better to do, coming out. Here's my bottom line on Kenobi. I'll just go straight to that. If
Okay.
you like it, that's great. But for
That-
me,
That's the eternal
Oh,
caveat.
yeah. But for me, being where I'm from, the age that I'm at, seeing Star Wars the way that I did, and at the age that I did, anything that Disney has done just doesn't fit. They like to contradict themselves all to pieces. There are those that say that the EU was full of various contradictory things, and I don't dispute parts of that. But the main core of it was all done with George Lucas. He had his hands in a lot of it. A lot of these authors came to him and talked with him about certain things to help make this expanded universe congruent and to fit together as best as possible. It can be hard with having dozens of authors writing books from slightly different eras and ages. But when you look at what was done during those years versus what's been done since Disney has had it, the comics were better, the books were better, and the main characters, the core characters, were always treated with respect. They were never put down. They were never mansplained. There was never any of the woke wankery, none of that. And Star Wars. That's the way it's been with a few people on the Twatterverse tonight. So
yeah. Well, and to go back to that EU,
Mhm.
I was always under the impression that somebody who wanted to make an EU book or something tied into the actual Star Wars universe actually had to get the sign off. Not just they would work with him, but I was always under the impression. Now, granted, you could have told me anything at that age, I probably would have believed some part of it. But that it actually all got signed off by, if not Lucas, at least Lucasfilms, to say, yes, this fits with the extended canon that we have on the books so far. Is that, do you know a lot about that, or you just more just enjoy all of it?
That's my understanding of it. And that would make sense. At that time, with George still owning everything, anybody that wanted to write it would have to get licensed to do it, whether it be a license through an existing one that one of the book publishers have, or that. So there would have been a process in place for everything to be ran by George, or at the very least Lucasfilm, and checking and basically trying to keep some resemblance of a continuity going without having the level of inconsistencies that we have had since Disney has bought it. Here's what I'll say about the first 2 episodes of Kenobi. They completely and utterly ruined a lot of stuff that happened in Rebels. A lot of inconsistencies, a lot of mind changing, if you will. And I will say this: there is a lot of the message, a lot of checkboxing, and a whole lot of woke wanker stuff that didn't need to be there. The one bright spot that I will say is Ewan McGregor, considering what he was given, he's doing his best. But at the same time, I'm thinking that he took the payday. And it's the same with Hayden Christensen. I think by the time this all plays out over the next 4 weeks, we're going to see it that it was just a big, gigantic payday grab for them.
Interesting. Well, and I mean, at some level, if someone's going to get the paycheck, you might as well sign up and get it. Make them pay some payroll taxes in your their out, whatever you charge.
I don't blame him for that. But let me give you an example. The show is not, as it stands today through the first 2 episodes, it is not a Kenobi story. It is a Reva Bestis Avar type of character, and a young 9-10-year-old Princess Leia show. Now, as far as the child actress that's playing Leia, she's got an impossible job, and it's already hard to do things properly with kids, anyways.
Mhm.
But you can
Yeah,
you can
good kid
definitely see
actors
them.
haven't been a thing for a while.
Yeah, you can definitely see the modernisms, the various, stand up against the patriarchy, men are bad tropes being played out both with her and with Riva. In fact, there's parts of it where her as, uh, whoever it is that's playing her, the third sister, basically being chastised by the Grand Inquisitor because she's overstepping her authority. And of course, the
Mm.
way that they word it and the way that they scripted it, and the way that it's said is it's basically it turns into a man versus woman, a white alien dude versus a black chica, and you know, in the second episode, you see stuff play out that it basically fits into that to the overall arc of the message down with the patriarchy, all that other nonsense that has infected a lot of Western culture and a lot of Western entertainment.
Right.
And
Right.
on the second part of that, the person that plays the third sister, I think her name is Moses something. She can't act, or I don't believe she can act. She's more like a third rate actress.
If she
And it
can act,
doesn't.
she's not trying right now.
Yeah, if she can, she's doing a bad job, or she was directed really badly, or the script is really bad. And I think it's a combination of all three, leaning probably more towards the script being bad, and I would also say the direction being bad, because what's her name? Deborah Chow is the one that's directing all of these. So ultimately, at
Right.
the end of the day, this all goes right back to the top. There's two people that are to blame for all of this: Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger. They are the
Yeah.
two. It was Bob Iger that bought it, and and George Lucas, either on purpose or by accident, got bamboozled to put KK into there. And ever since then, it has been a steady decline, and a more recent rapid decline. Yes. Talking some Star Wars, I'm commiserating over here a little bit.
Yeah.
But ever since 2012, their stock, especially in the past year, has dropped down dramatically. And the returns that Disney is getting from Star Wars, either from the theatrical side or from the TV side, have been declining. There's
Right.
no two
Well,
ways around
and
it. Star Wars is in
it's so
decline.
upsetting because
Yeah.
You have a thing that is a fantastical setting. You could tell any story you want, and anyone can be bad. Any creature, any like a robot, like anything can be the bad guy or the good guy. And to fall back into such I mean, it's just boring. Like for me at least. Like I couldn't care less about like what someone's like, oh, it's too woke, or oh, it's I'm gonna read on it. It's like I don't really care. I just hate that it's boring because it's so overplayed at this point. That I want to see some weird, like what happened to Jabba the Hutt, right? What happened to these weird creatures that were the bad guys or robots? Like IG-88 was an awesome enemy in the Shadow of the Empire video game. You're like, he's a friggin' robot, but he's a bounty hunter. You can shoot everywhere. Like it was this crazy fun thing, right? What happened to a lot of that fun and that joy? And I think that's the big thing that's missing in a lot of it.
Exactly. Star Wars is supposed to be fun. That's what it was built upon. It's set in a fantastic universe where diversity ran rampant. Think about it. The cantina scene on Mos Eisley. How many humans were actually in that cantina versus the aliens?
Yeah, even the one that was like human really didn't feel like they were human, because when they actually got closer to him, it's like, oh, he had a weird nose. Like you're like, oh, he's just humanoid, right?
Yep. Whereas with these two episodes, there's diversity, but only amongst the human species. They had all the various, checkbox, skin pigmentations for humans, but almost no droids and maybe just a handful of aliens. And then on the second planet, which is basically a knockoff Nar Shaddaa, same deal. A crap ton of humans of all the varieties of skin pigmentations there, but only just a handful of aliens. It was extremely disappointing.
So many of the aliens that we do get to see are stuff we've seen, right? It's like, oh, we'll just bring Jawas back. Oh, we'll bring Mandalorian, right? Like, we'll just make Yoda a baby. Everybody loves babies. Everybody loves Yoda. That'll make it, work out. And, the story can be fun. The story can be good. But it's still, the fact that everybody calls it Baby Yoda is just like, oh, we're just playing off of that nostalgia factor much to get people excited and interested in things that it just never seems to work out.
That is true.
Nerdportal, if you're not on, you don't have notifications. If you've seen Obi-Wan or Kenobi or whatever the hell this stupid show is called, I threw a link at you as well. You may be able to commiserate better than I can.
Well, let me also put this out there. They spent in total between the two shows about 5 minutes, 6 minutes rehashing and showing sequences from the prequel trilogy, treating us like no one has ever seen it.
But they agree it exists at least.
Yeah, and I was talking this over with Snow, and if I remember correctly, we came to the conclusion that they did it because their target audience are people that are younger than you, that haven't seen the original trilogy, that haven't seen the prequels. All that they know is the Disney stuff, and ergo, all they know is the stuff that's woke, Slay Queen crap, all of the stupid stuff of modern cinema and modern television versus what came before.
I remember
it sucks.
I remember when Disney bought Star Wars, and me and my friends were like, whoa, because at the time Disney was really on top of this big we're gonna release this vault. They've got the Vault collection, and so like every couple months, like another movie would be coming out. It's like, we're releasing Lion King from the vault, or whatever it was gonna be. So you get a new Blu-ray remaster of the original. And we were like, man, if Disney buys Star Wars and then cracks open those old 35 millimeter cans and releases the original cut of Star Wars in the highest definition they can, I don't care how much they paid for it. We will pick that up. Because at the time, if you wanted to see the original cut, I don't think you could even buy it on DVD. I think you have to get the original VHS, like the gold or the silver collection.
VHS or Laserdisc.
To get it without all of the we were able to add in more aliens. Like, remember when that was the worst part about Star Wars? They were adding in more aliens. Like,
or the CGI being the story terrible. Yeah, I do. I know that
we're out here begging for different stuff.
Exactly. I do know that there's a few. The Despecialized is out there. Fan restorations from original negatives, or as many of them as they could find to splice together to be able, and in a good enough condition to be able to do it properly. That's
someone just needs to call up Kenny Lauderdale. He'll find it in a minute. You ever watch any of his videos?
No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with him.
He will be browsing eBay, and he will come across a record that has like a picture of an anime on the cover, and he's like, I don't recognize that anime, because the guy's a freaking encyclopedia when it comes to just knowing everything. And I think to date, that specific story where he found an image from a record, he has now pieced together 18 frames of this animation that never aired and never got produced. Like, it's like, how do you even like start to find something like that? But he could find it. You just gotta got to put a bounty on it and sick him on the original edition. He'll find it all.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. But yeah, as far as Kenobi goes, too many inconsistencies, too many character inconsistencies, especially with Kenobi, comparing him to how he was in the prequel trilogy there at the end. The story just doesn't make a lot of sense, and it doesn't fit very well. And to make things worse, there are certain pieces of knowledge that certain people claim to have that is continuity breaking. As an example, the third sister spouted off things about Vader to Kenobi that only 2 other people would have known, that Anakin Skywalker, A, is still alive, and B, is Vader. And that is Thrawn, and that is Tarkin. That's it. No, besides the Emperor, but the Emperor doesn't let any of that go.
Right.
The second would be Kenobi not using force powers or having a struggle to be able to use them.
Mm-hmm.
In the second episode, he finally breaks and has to use it. He hadn't used any of it for a while, but if you remember, at the end of the third movie, Yoda told him to commune with his master Qui-Gon, so that way Qui-Gon could teach him how to transcend death and become a Force ghost, or how to do that particular Force technique. So logically, you would think, okay, even though they're in hiding, with as much noise as there is in the galaxy and in certain places, Dagobah being strong with the dark side, masking Yoda. Well, in essence, Tatooine also does the same because of all the scum and villainy that is on that planet. That planet, by that extension, would also be more of a conduit for the dark side, being able to help mask him.
Makes sense.
So he should have been able to continue his meditations, his trainings, being able to commence and talk with Qui-Gon, but then also talking with Master Yoda, either through standard communication methods, through back channels, or even through the Force. Because the only person that might be able to sense them would have been the Emperor, but as it's found, from the original trilogy, the Emperor did not know that Yoda was still alive. He didn't know any of that, which signifies
pretty focused on.
Yeah, they were hidden.
Rebuilding his burnt corpse of a stepson.
Exactly. And then for Vader, his power set was never in those same realms. Even when he was Anakin Skywalker, all of his power sets are based upon combat, lightsaber combat, all the 7 forms, and then all the various Force abilities to augment his combat. He was never a person that could reach out with the Force at any distance and feel a presence or establish a connection with somebody else. That's not him.
Mm-hmm. But did you think that maybe like his midichlorians have been changed by Disney?
Probably. His midichlorian counts have gone down along with his balls. They have been detached. He is no longer Vader. He is
down in the lava.
Yeah.
Some weird lava worms enjoying some Rocky Mountain oysters there.
I've read quite a few of the books from the current Disney canon, and they're all right. But the biggest thing that I have gotten out of all of them, especially from the new Thrawn trilogy and all that, and even from the Tarkin book, is once Anakin lost the other 3 limbs and got burnt to a crisp, constant pain, constant phantom limb syndrome problems. The mechanical stuff doesn't work as well as Flesh and Blood does. He does not have the same level of control that he would have had he been able to stay as he was with just the one arm missing. So in essence, Vader, when he turns to Vader, he's still powerful. He still has all those things, but he's not as powerful as what Anakin would have been. at that same progression had he not turned, or had he not been burnt to a crisp. So once he got burnt to a crisp, he lost several abilities, or he can't do certain abilities like he used to. He can't move as fast. Everything about him is slower. He still has the ability to more or less force predict what's coming towards him. So if somebody's going to pull a blaster and shoot him, one of his force power abilities in one of the books is that he had that foresight, so he could maneuver himself in place. Whereas as Vader, he can still do it, but it takes a lot more of him to do that. More deliberate movements, more prodding, more planning, I guess you could say. So
you forget, Mike, Maul was before Disney.
Yeah, Maul was
yeah.
Yeah, he was before, but if you also look at it, that's another thing. The battle that Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't have with the Inquisitors, he would have ripped them to shreds. He was still a Jedi Master, one of the top 3 duelists and one of the top 3 Force power users in the Jedi Order as a Jedi Master. With all those things combined, and knowing that the Inquisitors are more or less just Padawans or Padawan level type of players, he would have had no problem wiping the floor with the Grand Inquisitor and with the Third Sister. Even at his age of 50, he should have had no problems. And what I can go to help prove that point is Dooku. How old was Dooku when he became Sidious's apprentice?
I mean, he was born in like 1910, so really, really old.
Yeah, Count Dooku was in his 80s or thereabouts when he turned to the dark side. Point. Yeah. So with that in mind, the Force and Force powers and abilities, they do prolong you, and they can keep you up and going. Or even, if you look at Yoda, how old was he when he had his fight with Sidious? 900 plus years old, and he could still do all that crap?
Right.
So there are way too many things about this that are just not consistent enough, or they just don't flow.
Mm-hmm. But that's okay, because it just has to get more people to buy toys.
Yeah, that it does.
That's all it has to do. That's all they want, is just let the toys sell a little bit before they go on clearance. And if they can do that, they've won. Which, to my point earlier, more interesting aliens. Like, nobody wants just a bunch of human toys. People want the weird slughead guy. They want the weird, not quite a Wookiee, but I don't know what he is, but on the back of the toy package, I can learn about a new alien race. They want something that's different and new. They don't want just another human they can stick in their pile of humans and play around with. What is going on, Pop Culture Mechanic? How are you doing tonight? We got a comment earlier, and you were deep into I think EU ranting at the time, so I didn't want to really cut into that. I wanted you to let the juices flow. But your desire for Star Wars may be satisfied here. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor was just announced, and I figured we'd watch the trailer since it's here, and we can see if it's any good. And I'm guessing EA makes it. Oh, is it? Audio content? No. Where's my audio at? Is it this one? Is it this one? Or is there just no audio yet?
Tell me.
Oh my goodness. Do we not have audio? Is this thing not working? Hold on. I say share screen. I select the tab. I select share tab audio. I say share. And I crank it up. Let's do that. Try cranking it up. This up. Oh, it is. It's working for you guys?
Yeah, it's working. It's just loud.
Oh, now it's loud? I do miss, like, my first Star Wars game was the everybody, it's waiting for stream, lol, audio's on. Yeah, I'll be over here in the deaf corner signing my way through the Star Wars game, so don't worry about it. Was the Jedi Academy game, where you could get the dark force powers and the light force powers at the same time without there wasn't like you're either good or bad. You could just get the powers, and I was like, this is amazing, because I think at the time I was reading the Jedi Academy books, where like it's Han and Leia's kids, and they had the same thing where they're like, oh, powers are powers, we can just do whatever we want because we're Jedi, but these powers tend to be more dark side related, and it was so cool, so interesting.
Yes, it was. That was a great game. There are a ton of great games. The first ones that I remember playing was Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back on the NES, and then the Super ones, but also Dark Forces. That was a great one. Then, of course, all of them with Kyle Katarn, and then eventually into Jedi, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. That was a great one. That one was really good. Then, of course, KOTOR and KOTOR 2. That was the singular biggest thing that BioWare did. And it was more Star Wars than even the first 2 episodes of the prequel trilogy. That was the running joke at the time, and it was true. Now, Revenge of the Sith changed it a bit, but
I have thoughts on that, unfortunately, but it's only because of how I encountered that game. I picked up KOTOR after playing Deus Ex and after playing Jedi Academy. And so I had always played games where if you point at someone and you hit that person, or you punch and you hit that person, or something happens and you hit that person, you hit the dang person, and it worked out. And playing the original KOTOR and watching a lightsaber go right through someone's torso and them just have a big word over them that says miss drove me up a wall. I was so frustrated as a kid, like, no, I hit it, what are you talking, like, I was so frustrated.
Yeah. If you were not brought up on either CRPGs or JRPGs, that would have been an eye-opener, but
not even tabletops.
Yeah. The original KOTOR was based on what was it, D&D, their 2nd or 3rd edition D20 base rules. They had the standard setup of 6 different things that you can put your stats into, and depending upon what you did would determine what would happen.
Give a little traumatic memory. Yeah, it's such a vivid image of them being in the spaceship and swinging that sword, because I spent so long creating my character and all that other stuff that goes along with it, and I was so into it because I loved Star Wars, and then it just drove me nuts. Because back then, you couldn't just be like, oh, let me just download a different game to play. Oh, I'll just pick up a different game to play. No, you had to wait either until the next time your family went to the Hollywood Video to rent a different game, or for your next birthday to come around. Like, you had that game for months until you had a new game. Months. Yep. This was pre-Flash game, so I couldn't even just like go online. And if I did go online, the freaking phone wouldn't work, so I'd only get like maybe 30 minutes to an hour before mom's like, you gotta get off so I can make a call because grandma needs blah blah blah, whatever. Yep. So of course it was dramatic because I was so excited, and it was so frustrating to me. Almost as frustrating as this god dang audio problem. No idea what's going on. Why is it not working? I don't know. We'll find out. I can hear you just fine. If I hear you, the audio from this tab should be going through and then coming. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, it should be. I can hear it. It's just loud.
What is your next move, Jedi?
A very, very evil voice going on. But not being able to hear will help me to help avoid the cute little robot. See?
Yeah, that's his helper. And I wonder who's that in the tank. See, I tried to play the first one of these games.
Mhm.
There are certain aspects about it that I didn't like, especially all the Tomb Raider, modern Tomb Raider puzzle solving stuff. It drove me crazy.
Mhm.
But as a character, Cal Stassis isn't bad, but I prefer Kyle Katarn myself. So
Right. I just like a robot that looks like they made it out of stuff they found at like a pick and pull place. That's my favorite part. The like the original Luke's green lightsaber. Vic Mignogna just put a replica on eBay, and he's like going through all the things that the person built it with, and he's like, it's a gear from this kind of like a receipt machine. It's a screw from this kind of spark plug. Like it's all these weird parts and pieces. And every time he says like what one of the pieces are as he's describing what he's getting ready to sell, you're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what that little part is. I just thought it was a freaking lightsaber. So freaking funny. Anyway. 2023.
yeah, not too long for it. But like
play it
all
now?
things,
Can I hear it?
I don't trust Disney. I can hear that.
Oh, you can hear that. Is that the problem? Hold on. Wait.
Why? Fight!
What in the world? It's not going through my OBS. Where's it going through? Oh, I bet I know it. Yup, there it is. Fixed it. Now I know why I was so loud. I fixed it. And I
Yeah.
can hear it.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, I don't trust Disney. I don't trust EA. From what I've been able to gather, the last one was more of a fluke, and it doesn't fall within a standard EA game experience because A, they didn't make it a live service, and B, they didn't try to nickel and dime you to death with DLC. So
Right. Well, that's always good when they're like, oh, yeah, last time we tried to do this, a lot of people got really upset. Maybe we don't do this again, and people maybe won't be upset.
yeah, but it's EA. They don't learn.
That is true. That is true. And E-Class brings up a very good point. The week 6 results are out. So I know you're only following Spycross Family this season, and I'm so glad that I've tricked you into also saying it the way that I say it. But I love going through the weekly top 10 results and seeing what's going on. So if you wanna hang out here with me, I can rage a little bit too.
Rage away. I've said
right.
my piece on it, so yeah. All right, so what's on here that's got you up in arms?
So the biggest problem. Well, I'll okay. Let me drink first. All right, Kampai, everyone.
Kampai.
Okay, Spycross Family deserves to have a top spot. It is a fantastic show. We've yet to see kind of how it ends and how it wraps and if it maintains the level of quality that it's had. But we know that the way this show is being made is it is 2 studios that are running alternate episodes. And the fact that the art directors are maintaining quality across 2 separate teams, and those teams are working at half rate to be able to put out just a show every 2 weeks, we're getting really, really consistent work from them. So I don't see that show tanking as it moves on, or running into budget issues, or running into staffing issues or anything like that. It's been very well planned and coordinated by those teams. Kaguya-sama. I stopped watching season 2. I get it. There's a contingent of people that just frickin' love this show. But it's a show about people who can't be honest with each other, and it drives me nuts. And not in the old school anime way where they're like, oh, I can't tell him that I like him because he already likes her. They just don't want to say it. because they can't be the first to say it, and it drives me nuts. I'm like, just freaking say it. When I met my now wife, then random girl at the school I went to, I went up and was like, I like you. Like, you don't mince words. You go up and you throw out some bait and see what happens. And either you get a bite or you don't. I got a bite and it worked out.
Cool.
Number three. It's been here for 2 weeks at number 3. This show is the worst show, the worst romance. There is nothing redeeming about this show. Its only redeeming quality is that no one should watch it, and it's so boring that people have started to not watch it anymore, except for a couple people that continue to put out articles about it and continue to say that it's great. The best thing it's done all season is take a break last week. I don't understand how this show has so many people that are interested in it. Now, I think there were maybe 8,000 or 10,000 people that voted for this week's Annie Trends, if I'm remembering the number counts. But even that is too many people being able to put this stupid show at number 3. It is so boring. There are, like for you, I would say, don't watch Kenobi. Don't waste your time. There's other things that you can watch that you will enjoy far more, that won't make you mad, and will help you escape, and will help you relax, and will help you unwind. This show is that in anime form. It's just garbage. Just don't watch it. It's just a bunch of boring crap that's on the screen for people to get all excited about for no reason. They're like, oh, that's a wholesome couple. I really like this couple. Maybe, I can have a nice wholesome couple someday too. Maybe I'll have a boyfriend who will let me step on him too. It's so stupid. Hate it.
Just a bad show.
It's just boring. It's just boring. So stupid. Anyway, I can't fix everyone online. And that's something I learned a long time ago. Back when I was playing the first Halo in league matches, I learned about internet drama and internet personalities and how people who form groups create in-groups and out-groups and then all that other crap that some other people are learning lessons about now. You just ignore them. You're just like, all right, you guys are weird. I'll occasionally pop into a tweet just to say, that show's really dumb, and then just leave because I've said my piece.
Yep, I hear you there.
Summertime Rendering, by all accounts, is a great show that may end poorly, and I am not going to watch it until it's done, because every episode is going to have another question and another cliffhanger that makes me think, oh, maybe I should wait. Oh, what's coming up next? What's coming up next? What's coming up next? And I'm going to wait till it's all out. I'm going to binge it, and I'll make a review after that's all done. Komi Can't Communicate had such hype from the manga, and the first season came out. Like, this was the show that was like, they're never going to make an anime about Komi. They can't make an anime about a girl who doesn't talk. And then they did, and everybody exploded. And you've got all these legions of manga fans that are just like, we're going to keep this show pumping. You keep giving us Komi. We're going to keep loving it. So I can respect that. It's got a following from its previous incarnation. Your boy Kong Ming moving up. I am happy about this one. My mom is a huge musical fan. And she loves musicals, all musicals, every musical. I've seen more Rodgers and Hammerstein than most people in this chat right now. And by that, I mean all of them. All of those stupid movies. There are two types of musicals. There are musicals where people sing and they take a break and they make a song. And it's like, oh, cool, they made a song. And then there's a musical where they sing and the plot gets moved as they sing the song. Your boy Kong Ming is an interesting mix of both because the singing is the whole reason for the show. It's a stage thing. She's a singer. He's a rapper. You've brought Kong Ming from the past. It is a fantastic, fun show. It's very interesting because you're also bringing in that historical tactician in Kong Ming. And I love it. Very, very fun. Love After World Domination, everybody knows. This is my Super Sentai passion show. Ooh, excuse me. I just found out that there is a essentially live action version that was done back in like the late 2000s with one of the Super Sentai series that was one of those the Red Ranger falls in love with one of the villains. So I'm excited to follow up with that later. But I freaking love this show. It's a great romance, strong characters, couples that work together to then become better together. It's everything that you would want from a real romance, as opposed to these morons who watch Shikimori. Couple of Cuckoos is still silly, still fun. I'm glad it popped up here because it had a bit of a delay. We're only on episode 4 or 5 of this show compared to the rest of them are on 6 or 8. So very, very good to see that one making a showing because it's been fun. Aharen-san, kind of boring to me. Shield Hero, how did you pop up there? Probably because they started using drawn animation again. This show, Brandon, has this giant turtle monster. And rather than draw a turtle, now, I'll grant you, turtles may be one of the easiest things to draw on the planet. It's a rock with a snake head. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff to it to make it interesting. And they went with PS2 level graphics to make this stupid giant turtle. And everybody complained. Now, I think it was maybe a ploy of if we make this thing look real shitty, people will complain about it. And then when they come back, when we make it 2D and actually draw it, they'll be, oh, hey, they fixed it. And it'll be this huge event that we can sort of play on. But I guess that's working. The new episodes are going in weird locations. It took the isekai genre, and now they've isekai'd their isekai, and then they went ahead and isekai'd the isekai that they were already isekai'd in. So we're 3 layers deep in other worlds, and it is very strange. Very strange. I have no idea where it's going because I don't read the manga, but it is it's a ride. It is a ride, I will say. And yes, Komi does have a cult following. That is true. E-Class. My Cuckoos is consistently fun to watch. That is true. It is a very fun show. Shield Hero 1 annoyed you. You'd much rather watch season 2 of that than watch any more Shikimori. Haven't you only watched the first episode and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna bounce? You took the smart approach to that show.
I love Shield Hero season 1. The payoff on it was so good. It's one of my favorites of the modern. And I'm holding off to watching season 2 until a few more things happen, but I do plan on watching it in its entirety. And from what it sounds like, I probably won't enjoy the first few episodes as much, but if they fixed their faux pas, it might move forward and be better.
Can you trust a random English Twitter user? I don't know. But I did read that this arc is one of the arcs that the writer, the original mangaka, was doing and was like, it's not my best, but here's story for you guys. You just sort of not technically, but sort of filler that he was pushing out there. So
yeah, I'm surprised that they jumped that far into it instead of just following it, chapter by chapter. But what do I know?
Yeah, I don't produce anime.
No, neither do I. So
here we have quality, real men and women, purpose and understanding, and they know that real good relationships require 2 people that love each other no matter what and still work together to become better. That's why Fudo and Desumi remain number 1 ship of this week. Izumi and Shikimori, they got a lot of people that think they're good, but they both suck. And that's why they're number 2. And they're going to fall off this list if anyone can pull their head out of their ass and realize that most of the rest of these couples do something far better than them. And then we can get Culliver Bear on here. Because if we can get a bear monster and a princess on the top of this list, that would make me so happy. And then everyone who likes that tweet, we can just send them to the incinerator with the rest of the furries.
Yeah. The only 2 that I recognize on here is Lloyd and Yor, Spy Family, and then Anya and I haven't got that far into it yet where she starts whatever with Damien, but
They
I
just
really
interact
do.
as kids.
I really
This
do
is
like Spy Family. I really
this is
do.
this is ships. So this is
Yeah, people are
the
strange.
two characters don't even have to talk to each other for shipping to occur.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that it's Anya Damien and not something else that would ruin the community. Like Nagi Erica and Nagi and his sister. That would be a little weird. They're not blood. Okay, they were raised together for 15 years. I don't know that blood or not blood matters at that point.
Yeah.
But yes, E-Class Fudo, Cross Decimate, 2 weeks straight. Definitely true. There's a lot in the middle of Shield Hero Season 1 that you hated. There was some stuff you liked, though. Okay. Got boring after Naofumi's character climax? I mean, that's just called falling action. It doesn't necessarily mean boring. Anime guy, do you have any opinions about Steven Universe? A show about rocks that are non-binary because they're rocks? And a little boy who's a tubby little piece of bacon lard?
Yeah, it's a shitty show.
Yeah.
I am familiar with it. My oldest watched it for a while, and I watched some of it with her, and the animation is not good. The overall stories, I can see how they could appeal to certain groups of people, but in general, is it worth your time? No. Is it the show that if it was worth your time once, would it be worth your time again? Absolutely not. That, and they love to push the message in that one. Oh man, that's one of the vehicles that Cartoon Network uses to bludgeon children with propaganda to death. So it sucks. I do not recommend it for anybody. It's a waste.
Everyone I know that loves Steven Universe is 25 to 35 and have no idea what their next job is going to be. Like that's just the human that enjoys that show. And they don't have any solid likes or dislikes about anything else, and they just know that these gemstones are working hard and they can make it and I can make it too. And I hate it. There's nothing I enjoy about that show. And the fact that adults are like, oh, you should watch this show. I really like this. They got the good blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, no, none of this is exciting or enjoyable. Give me something that is more fun than this. Anything that is more fun than this. It drives me nuts.
A root canal.
Having
your toenails pulled.
Oh my goodness. Give it to me. Michael likes to drum up controversy with his love of Steven Universe, and I'll pull up Michael's favorite manga that he wants to get turned into an anime, and that might help you understand him a little more.
Well, Pop Culture put one up there, and he's absolutely right. Anything with the CalArt style is garbage. That's pretty much everything that's been done on Cartoon Network over the past few years, and quite a bit of the stuff on that Disney's done. Although I will say this, I loved Phineas and Ferb because it was so imaginative and so different.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also been watching Big City Greens with my youngest one, and that's actually that's pretty funny too. It has a bit of that style to it, but it's not. It's more Phineas and Ferb than CalArts.
So gotcha.
I can deal with it.
Yeah, Phineas. My parents love Phineas and Ferb. They're like, you should watch this show. I'm like, why did you guys start watching this show?
Oh yeah, it's just a fun show. It's
bigger picture.
You just have to watch it, and it's either a like or you don't like. But I always found Phineas and Ferb just to be funny, and just two kids having a great summer that also have massive imaginations and the ability to create everything.
Okay, here is Michael DeLucia III's favorite manga that he hopes someday to see animated. So maybe this will help you sort of get a feel for where his opinions lie.
What the hell is that?
It's a boxing anime about a boxer, a lady boxer who wants to be the best lady boxer she can be.
Oh, okay. Female
Yeah,
boxer.
he's
Okay.
so a show that's all about rocks fits right in with his love of rock hard abs. So that's where he comes from.
I learned something new every day. I did not know that there was a boxing manga about a female fighter.
And
now
you
I
were
do.
just talking boxing previously, but
Yeah.
you were sticking to boxing anime. This is just manga. We haven't seen an anime about it yet because if we had, you would have heard about it.
Yep. Oh yeah, it would have had all the ones that decry Shield Hero and go they would have been all over that. and went to Yah Slay Queen, Yah.
It's good. I know the manga is good. The problem is when it gets eventually translated, I don't know that it'll still be good. So we have to wait. We have to wait, Michael, because if we make that into an anime now, you'll have to learn Japanese to enjoy it. Because if you read the subtitles, it's going to change the words to make you upset. If you listen to the dub, it's going to change words that make you upset. And you're going to have to learn Japanese to really enjoy that. But if you wait just a little bit, there's some changes on the horizon in the translating, dubbing, and streaming services. I mean, look at it right now. You've got Netflix tanking. You've got CNN can't even make a streaming service at all. There is a new wave of people who spend money on things that they like and don't spend money on things they don't like, who have remembered the 7 C's exist and won't continue to pay someone who's doing garbage work. Yep. Very soon, there are going to be new options and new systems for you to actually enjoy and find translations that are truer to the original or are bringing up along at least the meaning of the original, even if it isn't a one-to-one the way a lot of people like it. So just trust me that you don't want that anime yet, because if they make that anime right now, it will make you very upset.
Yep, most definitely. Well, Blaine, I hate to buzz in and go, but I do have a few other things I got to do tonight before I go to bed.
Good.
So
I appreciate you're a man of the early show, so I never worry about you having to take off early.
I definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate you inviting me on and letting me rant my Star Wars fandom side of things a bit. And it's precisely because of what's happened to it and Star Trek and other things that I have turned again to anime. So, and I'm glad I have, because it has been a hell of a lot of fun, and it's been great reconnecting with shows that I remember as a teenager that were, that came out in the 80s and 90s, and then either broadcast on Sci-Fi Channel or even, on Toonami, on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, no, and it follows too with that, like Raging Golden Eagle has that same concept of like he's like, modern comics suck. I'll make my own comic, and look how good anime is. Like I've talked plenty about how doujins and manga are so grassroots that there's so many people making it that they essentially have the independent market over there already. They can then just sort of pick and choose whichever one has the most followers. And when you're in those independent markets, you're getting much, not even technically high quality, because like One Punch Man is a freaking napkin comic compared to something like Berserk, right? So it's not even that it's like high quality, but stuff that people are enjoying, that touches them, that resonates with them, and they're able to market test those ideas before they put it into the screen and waste time actually animating it and flushing it out and then going to global distribution. So you've got much more content that's typically, there's more for you because there's just so much more out there.
Absolutely. Well,
always
I
good
definitely
to talk
appreciate
to you.
It. So
thank you for hanging out. You have a wonderful rest of the night. I will be popping your YouTube channel down in the description, so anybody watching this, definitely go down there and sub to the Anime Guy if you haven't already. And I will catch you next time you're available.
Absolutely. And if you're up tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific, it's the end of the month. We're ending the 2000s, and I'm going to hold an open floor. So whoever wants to pop in, come in, and speak their mind for a few moments about 2 to 3 of their favorite 2000s anime, more than happy to have you in.
Awesome. Definitely check that out tomorrow, everybody. I know I'll be trying to set an alarm to make sure I can do that. So I will see you tomorrow then.
All right, sounds good, Blaine. You take care, and we'll see y'all later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
And then there was me. All right, let's finish up these top 10 lists here. Why every time I turn it on, it default there? I want it to default to this one. Because with this one, I feel like I can at least sort of, you're a lot closer to the image. That's helpful. That's useful. Not much to say on the guy list. I mean, the fact that Izumi moved up is really only a factor of Kaguya-sama's character moving down. I don't remember this ding dog's name. The fact that Fudo moved down frustrates me. However, I will say that the episode prior to this voting period, not his best. Whereas I think this episode is going to skyrocket our boy Fudo. I think today's episode of Love After World Domination is so great, so sincere, so captivating on who Fudo is and everything. It's fantastic. I love it. And if that manga ever gets made, it's going to be that season's laud. Trust me, it will be. Just wait a little bit. Trust me. Lastly, Desumi's moving on up. Did I already say this? Because it was Waifu Wednesday. Oh my goodness, I'm actually I'm a second cup. Having somebody else on lets them talk so I can drink more. It's useful. Very, very interesting. Very much so something that I can get behind. So very, very exciting there. What do we got going? Oh, that's what we've. Big ass mention. That's what that is. All right, we can ignore that. Oh, let's see. All right. Anybody else want to talk anime with me tonight? Chat all night long. Now that I've got Restream. So silly. You're happy with Anya winning the list. You want Desumi higher though. I get that the poll is female characters. But every time I see that poll, my thought is waifu wars. That is just straight where I go every single time. So every time I see a character like Anya or Aharen who like move up the list, it's just like, it's weird to me because I immediately am like, oh, that's right. I've got to remind myself. It's just female characters who are on a list. It's not waifus. People aren't that weird. They can't be that weird. They're not that they can't be that much of a freak. Kind of inhuman people are they? Oh, remember? Remember what I said? Does everybody remember what I said? I said Birdie Wing is a Bandai show. And when Bandai makes a show, they make a show they can market. And when I say market, I mean miscellaneous merch that you can buy. That's what that means. And guess what? Look at this. We got new outfits from Birdie Wing. Coming to you from Jack Bunny. That's because you're taking it somewhere it's not meant to go. Yeah, I know it's not supposed to be where my brain goes immediately, but that's where it goes. honest with everybody. It weirds me out at first. People who choose RPG real estate girls as their waifu. All right, quick thoughts on this, actually. Oh, interesting. I forget I can do this. I always forget that I have to do this to do that. Okay, there we go. So, one second. Let me verify this. The new character in RPG real estate is like 14. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, that's a no. That's a no, dog. Dog, that's a no. No, dog. But the rest of them are like supposed to be. Why is this so hard to find? Adults in the field, and they just are using like a very stylized Moe blob design. Oh no. Well, they're okay in Japan. I'll say that much. Wait a minute. No, this one's okay. All right, yeah. So just depending on who you're talking about, it is okay. However, the idea is that it's just a Moe blob design, but they're adults in the working industry. Birdie Wing was also great this week. I talked about how I loved how it mirrored a lot of Evangelion episode 1 and 2, where you start the fight and then you don't get to see the end of the fight, and then at the end you get to see the end of the fight. And I always really, really quite enjoy that. And they're making clothes. They're making the clothes from the ending. So if you like the clothes from the ending and you want to go golfing, because Jack Bunny is a golfing apparel company, you can now cosplay while you golf in actual golfing attire that matches what they wear in the ending of the show from the Bandai Fashion Collection. Check it out. Prices are in yen. So we're looking at $50 for this hat. We're looking at $160 for this dress combo. The shorts are $130. So it's Bandai premium pricing. I'm not going to say that everybody needs to buy this right now. However, I am still waiting for the dang balls. I want a ball that has a rainbow wing on it. I want a ball that has Pac-Man on it. I want a ball that has a rose on it. Give me like the 3-pack combo balls like you can buy from Nike or Titleist or any of those other companies that has the rose, the Eve, and the Aoi Amawashi ball. Like where is that? How is that not on here yet? How do I have mugs and totes before I have golf balls from a golf anime? Heck is going on here? It's just insane the kind of crap that people just let by in their lives. Why? That's a crossbone gun. How did I bookmark this? I love Mobile Suit Crossbone. He's like a pirate Gundam, but I've never read any of it. I just really like the look of the Gundam. It has nothing to do with like the show or anything like that. Hunter x Hunter announced. That's right. I looked at that. I think that's it. That is it. Unless somebody wants to come on and talk about their favorite anime from this week. That's all the articles I've got. And we had anime guy venting away. If you want a link, DM me on Twitter. Otherwise I'll call it a night. It's a good night to go watch some more anime. That's what it is right now. It's a good night to watch more anime. And then tomorrow, Anime Guy's going to talk about his top from 2009. Have I I mean, if you haven't seen my video from his channel, we can go through that. Do that real quick. Go to my anime list. You're gonna watch the latest Lord episode after this. Watch Love is War before the show. Nice. The newest Love After World Domination is fantastic, as you would guess. There we go. Took forever to get in. All right, let's turn this on. Here we go. Here are my top 5, and yes, I know there's more than 5 here. We'll explain in a minute. My top 5 anime from the years of 2000 to 2009. Send you one next week. You'll join. Can't tonight. All right, we'll chat next week. In no particular order, Baccano. If you haven't watched Baccano, this is mafioso train people who don't care about lopping off fingers and shooting people in the face. This is a fantastic show full of mystery. It's just 13 episodes. Really, really easy to get through. I freaking love this show. It is fantastic. Easily top 5 of this decade span. Everybody should watch this show. If you're wasting time on Shikimori and not just coming here to listen to me complain about it every week instead, this is the show that you should be watching instead. Fantastic, awesome. Definitely, if you've seen Da, it does a lot of the same. Like, there's a lot of different character arcs that are all kind of like coming in at different angles. So it jumps between different perspectives and vantage points, and is really a well-told story overall. X-Driver. This is a future where no one drives anymore. Everybody walks out of a restaurant and pushes a button on a tablet. A car shows up, and then they just get in the car, and the car drives them to wherever they want to go. However, sometimes the AI goes rogue. And what happens when the AI on a car that automatically drives itself goes rogue? You call the X-Drivers. And the X-Drivers show up and smash or cover up or somehow disable the sensors. And once 2 out of the 4 sensors are disabled, the car stops going crazy. It has like an emergency stop feature. So you've got people that drive classic or standard vehicles that are in this show. Really, really freaking love this. Samurai 7 is something you watched a few episodes of years ago. Should think about checking it out again. Let's skip ahead. Samurai 7, this show. Let's go backwards in time with this show. You ever seen A Bug's Life? Bunch of ants that leave to go get some other bugs to help them fight against the grasshoppers that are coming to take their food. Pretty interesting. You ever see Magnificent Seven? Bunch of Mexican farmers go hire a bunch of cowboys led by Yul Brynner to protect them from bandits that are trying to steal their food. If we go back to the original, we're talking about a guy named Akira Kurosawa. And Akira Kurosawa is a legendary excuse me, I'm getting all worked up. Is a legendary director from Japan who made a show called The Samurai 7, or The Seven Samurai. And it is about a bunch of rice farmers in Japan who hire samurai to protect them from bandits. And it is the original. It's fantastic. And Samurai 7, the anime, says, all right, what if we tell that story, but we use the fact that it's anime to do crazy, cool, interesting stuff with it? And so you get very cool, interesting, crazy stuff where, like, one of them is basically a robot so that he can be stronger. There's giant mechs that the bandits use. There's spaceships that samurai cut in half. It is fantastic and awesome. And then the other thing it does is, after the end of the first season is essentially the original movie. So the entire original movie is stretched out into the first season. You get a lot more backstory, a lot more interesting character development. And then they say, all right, so we've got these people that hire these people to protect them from bandits. But what if there was more to the story? What if the bandits had extra motivation? And now the samurai have to fix that problem. And it goes to the next step beyond what the original movie did. And that is one of the coolest things that you can do with a series that you're redoing, is to say, okay, we had these questions. We wondered about what happened. What if we answer the what happened? And that show does that. I freaking love that show. It's Studio Gonzo, so you'll have to deal with some anime CG from the 2000s. So it's not fantastic, but they're only using it for the mechs. So it's very like, okay, the mechs are otherworldly, and it's otherworldly. So it's okay that the mechs are CG'd. We'll finish this little quadrant here. NHK ni yokoso, or welcome to the NHK. Story about a guy who's depressed and won't leave his room. He's a hikikomori. He's a NEET. He's an otaku in the truest sense of the word. But instead of just being an otaku, he says, you know what? The reason I suck, the reason I'm stuck at home, the reason I'm not going out is that the NHK, the Japanese broadcasting company, is compelling me to stay, is forcing me to stay. They are tricking me. They are brainwashing me. They are doing these things. So he's convinced himself that through the internet, through all of his appliances, through his radio, his TV, everything is forcing him to be a disgusting NEET. And it's a very fascinating look at somebody whose life is at its bottom. Like, the only way to get lower is if he were to Minecraft himself. And the show is not worried about touching that topic. So it's very, very good show, very dark show, very deep show. But because of this idea of the NHK, there's a lot of these very colorful hallucinations that occur that keep the show very upbeat and fun and happy while touching on these very dark themes. Very, very fantastic show overall. You like Toradora, but you think it doesn't hold up to a second viewing. You tried to watch it with your cousin, which makes any show better, and it just wasn't fun. Interesting. Toradora I really like because my wife has to apologize to people that we meet quite often because they think I'm mad at them when it's just my face. I have a resting mean face that really connects with Ryu in Toradora. So that idea of being someone that other people just initially are like, yeah, I don't want to talk to that guy, he seems upset at me, I connect with quite well. You haven't watched it the second time, but you loved it when you did. Yeah, no, it's fantastic, and I love that little connection I have to it. School Rumble is one of the funniest anime I have ever seen. Period. Bar none. It is hilarious with the way that the main male protagonist, I'm going to say, because it's sort of hard to nail down a protagonist in that show, but I would call Hajime the protagonist in that show. He looks like a 30-year-old Yakuza, and he falls into a lot of the tropes. Like, at one point, he ends up naked, holding a girl's mouth closed because she walked in on him, and then one of the other girls walks in, and rather than scream and run away and him get in trouble for being a perv, she says, oh, you were washing your swimsuit, she came in, and rather than have her scream, you covered her mouth, and now you're stuck in this situation. Like, they take the trope, the classic anime encounter, and they say, what if we don't? What if somebody like wipes it away? And they do that all the time. But they also play into a lot of the anime tropes. The way the street fights occur, the way that the spy fights occur. They at one point are racing on their bicycles, and they go flying past the 8.6 and the RX-7 from Initial D as they're drifting through the mountains, and they're flying past them on their bikes. Like, it's hilarious. It's fantastic. I love this show. If you have some knowledge of 90s and 2000s anime, this will be even funnier for you. Full Metal Panic is my single favorite anime of this decade. I love this show. You've got Sosuke Sagura, the child soldier who has grown up with the mercenary group, who only knows how to take orders and complete his orders. getting thrown into high school to protect a Japanese schoolgirl. And that fish out of water approach is super fun. I love it. I think it's fantastic. They have Full Metal Panic Fumofu, which is all of the filler side stories just stuck into one anime season. Fantastic. Best idea ever. One of the greatest Hot Spring episodes of all time. I freaking love it. Watch this show dubbed. It has got a great cast in the dub. You got Lucy Christensen, Chris Patton, and like Vic Mignogna all coming together for it. It is a great show with some great voice acting there. Grappler Baki will put your ass in the gym. I freaking love this show. You've got Baki, whose dad has merged with a demon. That's not his dad behind him in that picture, by the way. But his dad's like muscles, like when he flexes his back, has the face of a demon. And that's his entire plot point, is he can basically punch a nuclear missile and win. Like that is the guy's entire like persona. And you've got Baki, who's this kid who gets the crap beat out of him all the time, who then finally finds a way to beat. He goes up against 100 dudes and beats like 60 of them or something like that. And that's sort of his first like turnaround. And then he starts training under this guy, then training under this guy, then training under this guy, and fighting, getting better and better and better, just so that he can beat the crap out of his dad. Because his dad's just a dick. Like no other real reason that you're really let on to that's that deep, other than like, my dad's mean, I'm gonna go kick his ass. Like it's so good. I freaking love that show. And you've got Baki on Netflix, so it's still going on today, and it looks great in the new version as well. Hold on. Huh? Is this just sharing screen or is this sharing tab? Hold on, let me. Oh, I can't share that tab. That makes sense. I have to share this. Heat Guy J. This anime is awesome. This anime is the 2000s answer to Cowboy Bebop, Metropolis, and Redline. Like it is so much fun. It's a little detective show in a city that also includes aliens, androids, and monster humans that are like part animal. It's got everything that you want from an anime and a decent dub. Really, really fun one overall. I stumbled upon this one, and it has quickly risen to something that I quite enjoy. Quite enjoy that. Yeah, this Annie list is just all of my 2000s to 2009 that I could remember. I just popped it all out there and was like, you know what? These are all the shows I remember watching. This is everything that I thought was interesting. Doggy Poo. The tale of a doggy poo that learns to find purpose. It's a weird short. It's like 20 minutes long. You should watch it. It'll make you giggle. Trust me. Some of them you should never see again, like Tales from Earthsea. That's not a good show. Don't watch that show. Inuyasha, and then the new Guyver. They got more Guyver stuff. I've talked about that and also complained about that because I like it, but I also hate that it doesn't finish. Rosario and Vampire. This show is fun. Plus, it has one of the best openings. Choo 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 pa pa. So good. Disco lady, deep emotion. Do pretty darling, bum 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 bum. I like so many of the songs. Scried, if you want a good show about getting stronger, that one's always great. Shuffle for your harem needs. Steam Boy for your steam needs. Seki Ray for your other harem needs. Oh, so good. So good, all of these shows. Quite enjoyed most of them. I dropped Bleach and Fairy Tail. Oh, I gotta watch this one. Like a kid who becomes a kart racer. Soul Eater for you was great for the 2000s. I believe it. People love Soul Eater, and my favorite is people who love Fire Force finding out about Soul Eater. I think that's my favorite, because they're like, oh, okay, I'll try this out. This might be interesting. Oh, that guy makes this too? I like that. That's my favorite. I like Fire Force. I'll watch this instead. We'll get into it. Oh my goodness. So good. So good. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out. I'm glad we gave Brandon a place to vent his frustrations. I know when you see something you love get handled in a way that you hate, it can be frustrating. So part of escapism, part of talking about the shows we like, is making sure that we are able to relax and unwind with the stuff that we enjoy. So sometimes when something that you go to relax and unwind with just sucks, it can be good. It can be cathartic to get it out. You read Soul Eater and it was great, like the OP, but you couldn't get into the show. I'm in that same boat. I quite enjoy the show. I love the concept of the show, but there's some je ne sais quoi about the characters that's just missing for me to care enough about them. And I don't know what it is, because I love objectively everything about the show, but there's just something missing that will actually compel me to watch that show. Oh man, I am so burpy right now. Anyway, seeing something you love get molested really sucks. And yes, I know how to pronounce that word. I just choose not to, because I don't run a show for 2 hours and then I can say whatever I want. That is true. And the funny part to me about so much of that is how there was a joke on South Park back in the day that was making fun of the prequel movies, in the idea that George Lucas was molesting the original series of, and it was this entire series where everyone's like, blah, blah, blah. But now people are like, you know what? Maybe the prequels weren't too bad, but this is new stuff, and they are molesting this new stuff. That really sucks. That makes me sad. And they forget that it's been molested before. Because I remember those arguments. I remember those days when I was a wee lad. I think I was in elementary school still. Had to be. Yeah, easily. Because I think it was 2001 for the first prequel. Not when I was watching that South Park, but that was when I at least saw it. So I get it. I get the feels. Sometimes you just gotta let it out, and that's what we're here for. That's why it's Fun Time Friday. That's why it's not like a fixed anything on this show. We just do whatever the hell I want to do, because sometimes I just want to chat with someone and let them get it out, and that's what I'm here for. So glad we were able to make that happen. We still talked about anime, and I love anime, and I freaking love this episode of Love After World Domination. Oh, it's freaking getting memed, and that's hilarious. And it's also just a fantastic episode overall. Real classic. And the first episode that makes me excited for next week. Like, actually, I've been excited for the next one because I'm like, oh, I need more of this show. But now I'm excited for next week's episode. Like, I need to know what's coming next week. I need to know what's going to happen. So I'm super stoked for that. And I'm excited to see that next week. Enjoy your Memorial weekend. I will still be on Monday. I don't believe I have any plans as of right now that would take over my typical 7 o'clock Pacific time. Plus, not everybody has someone to hang out with, so maybe I can I pop on and I can be the guy hanging out while we eat some barbecue or some sausage or some chicken, or we'll figure something out. We'll make it a little Memorial Day stream, and we'll enjoy it. So look forward to that, and I will see everyone next week. Make sure to have a good weekend if this is your weekend, which I hope everybody has a wonderful, relaxing time. Kampai. Let's see if I can. Hold on, I gotta make this work. Give me a minute here. That's the bread. All right, Kampai.